All right, good morning, everybody. Let's see.
Good morning.
I got Rich Canova here, and we're missing Kathy. She's not going to make it. Unfortunately, she's not feeling well. So hopefully she gets better. And she'll be back. So what's going on, Rich? Anything new?
No, I don't know. I've been gone since last Friday. I was down in New Jersey for a few days with some friends, so I probably missed out on more of what's happened around here than I should have. But hey, you got to live. So I don't know.
Yeah.
You went to the meeting last night.
I went to the delegation. Yeah,
Yep.
Summer's delegation with the other delegates
Yeah,
from Griswold and for Republicans. And
yeah.
it was
I got the
interesting.
one for Brian tomorrow night.
Yeah, so Heather Summers got endorsed, so she's running for state senator again.
Good.
Yep.
That's good. Brian's got a little competition this year. He's got a guy from Preston running against him.
Yep, his delegation endorsement is Thursday night.
Yep.
We'll be going to that.
Yep, I'll be there.
So
Should be interesting.
Yeah, it doesn't last long. It was
Nah.
It was like 35, 40 minutes.
What was that, North Stonington?
Yeah,
Yeah.
North Stonington Wheeler Library, and then we went over to the bar and restaurant, quarter of a mile down the road. It wasn't bad.
Good.
Had some nice food and some local beer. It's a brewery, so.
It was funny when we were in New Jersey. We were sitting outside. There was 4 of us shooting the breeze, and this young kid was walking around the neighborhood, and it looked like he was just door knocking for who knows what. And he came walking across the street, and he walked up and he says, "What's your name?" to the guy that owned the house that I was sitting at with him. And he says, "Well, you don't need to know my name." He says, "What can I do for you?" and the kid turned around and he finally said, "Listen," he says, I'm running for the city council." And on and on it goes. And he says, "My name is such and such." He says, "Well, you should have introduced yourself when you first walked up." So I mean, obviously, young kids, they're just getting into the game. But it was good to see, though, because I mean, at the end of the conversation, New Jersey's quite blue, and this kid is Republican, and there's a few other Republicans that are running, and he firmly believes that they're going to flip the city council down there this year in this particular county. And he's 23 years old. And it was
Nice.
like, wow, he had his little door hangers, and that's what he was going around doing, like you've done. Go around knocking on doors and leaving door hangers.
Oh, it's tough to do.
But
I admire
23 years
that.
old, I mean, you start to see this little bit of a movement of younger people getting involved. So it's a good thing.
Yeah, I think you're starting to see a lot of people not liking the way things are going right now.
Exactly.
So
exactly,
even the kids are starting to see the writing on the
Yep.
wall. Unless something happens, we step up and start to push back somewhat some of these things.
In a lot of things. Yeah.
So anyway,
it was good.
Kathy bailed out on us because she's sick
Slacker.
and she can't talk. And but let's see what else is going on. We got the EDC meeting tonight. Going to be talking about the projects and some future projects possibly, and try and see if we can get some information out of that. I'll be there for that. Let's
What time is
see.
that? Do you know?
I think it's at 7.
Maybe I'll go.
So
be interesting to hear what they have.
Yep. Let's see what else is going on. Let's see. I don't know if you're into hockey or whatever. Bruins pulled one out last night, thanks to the hockey goalie. Did some fantastic saves there towards the end. So they come back to Boston, play Game 6. They're down 3-2. I didn't catch what the Red Sox did.
I don't know. When you're in New Jersey, you don't get to watch those games. You got to watch the Philly games.
Yeah. You were supposed to stay longer, right? All week.
Yeah, the bad weather. We were supposed to ride over into Kentucky and come back again, but the storms out there were just, it was too much. So we cut it short and just hung around Pennsylvania, New Jersey for a few days and rode around there. So we still made something out of it, but then you come back into Connecticut at 10 o'clock at night on 95 out of New York, and the construction down there is unbelievable. I mean, we got jammed up from exit 4 all the way up to exit 17. I mean, what's typically a 4-hour ride was 6-hour ride because of that. Yeehaw. I guess it's better than doing it during the day, but even still, they close 4 lanes down to 1, and everybody's got to shuffle.
Let's see. Trying to figure this out. I should have done this before. I can't even read these stupid numbers. Anyway, see what else is going on. Budget. Let's talk budget. So you got the new budget season, and I think we got something going on next Tuesday, right?
June 2nd?
Yeah.
Is the vote?
Or was it last night? We got something coming up. We got to have the town hearing, right? Town meeting. Talk about it. And then the vote. I think it's supposed to be June 3rd or June 4th, right?
4th?
Yeah, I think it's the 4th. So right now, it looks like the budget, from what I'm hearing, the budget's good. Hopefully people get out there, vote it through, get it passed.
Yeah. Be interesting to see.
The mill rate increase, last I heard, was 1.47 mil.
Yes.
And it's pretty much it, I guess. Just waiting to get through the last couple steps of the process.
Yeah, that'll be good. Get that done and over with. Move forward. I agree.
What else we got going on here? It's kind of a slow day. We were supposed to have a show today. We're going to talk about some stuff. Kind of drawing a blank. I'm doing a lot of deck repairs right now, and it's not fun on the knees. You just did a bunch of floor repairs, right? Not long ago.
Yeah. That's awesome. My knees are just getting over that, and I wore knee pads too.
Yeah. It didn't bother me 30 years ago when I put that thing together.
No.
Oh my. So yeah. Let's see. What else is going on? What's going on in the world today besides protests and things going on in Washington? The Trump proceedings about I
watched some clips from the Columbia University graduation that went well. Kids up there tearing up their diplomas and on stage when they got them and walking up with tie wraps like they were handcuffed and carrying Palestine flags. And it's like, God. Yeah, you got to be kidding me.
How many of them? Couldn't have been all of them.
No, but there was a bunch.
The media just shows you what they want to show you.
Well, this is true.
You probably got hundreds of kids in the class. You probably got like a dozen of them probably
that are rebels. Yeah.
That are just trying to make a point. And It's like, you know what? If you don't like it, hit the road.
Just go.
Yeah.
Just go.
And
move on.
Just make sure you don't get your tuition paid off. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
those are the ones that'll get their tuition paid off.
Yeah. Expect it to be paid off. Are you kidding? And then the other problem is the stories that are going around, and some of these big corporations that typically hire those kind of kids from those schools are going to shy away from them because they don't know who they're getting. Whether they're going to be pro this or pro that, and then all of a sudden they get hired and they're starting to spread their stuff amongst.
Oh yeah, but once you do that stuff, these kids don't understand how that.
It's a ripple down effect.
It's a ripple down effect the rest of your lives.
It's going to
understand you people have the right to do what they want to do, but when you do something like that, there's a consequence.
You don't bring your ideologies into the classroom or into your employment. I mean, keep it outside of all, and be careful how you keep it outside there today, because social media is your worst enemy too. I mean, your employer's watching that stuff. If you're working for a big corporation or anything with any government relations to it at all, they don't want
any political viewpoints or whatever. You got to stay away from that in the where you're working.
Of course. Don't put it in black and
the
white.
government's trying to put some kind of restraints on companies right now with the diversity thing and all like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You won't get this money, you won't get that, you won't get these tax breaks, this and that. It's just the same thing as the government, local government, Hartford does.
Sure.
So.
Yep.
Seeking. Say we got some comments. People are waking up now. Let's see. Carol says, "Who is that speaking?" So we got Rich Canova and Wayne Malin here right now. Mike and Paul are not here. We weren't supposed to have a show today. Kathy was supposed to be here today. Was Alec, but she's not feeling well. So it's just stuck with Rich and
us. Yeah.
And we're reaching for stuff to talk about. So anyway.
And I've been gone for 5 days, so I'm out of the loop for 5 days, so it doesn't help.
Yeah, so Cindy, Christina says, many companies look at social media profiles.
Sure they do.
Yes, they do. They want to see, you can go in an interview and throw the BS out as much as you want, but now they've got the social media stuff. They can just look up and
they already know.
See what you're all about and see what you're,
a personal friend of mine who's a retired state trooper. He works for the federal government now down on Plum Island. And when he was getting hired down there, the first question they asked him is they wanted his password for his Facebook account. Now, this guy has never been on Facebook. He's not that guy.
Yeah.
And they drilled him and drilled him and drilled him. He says, listen, I don't have a Facebook account. He says, you find one, you let me know. He says, but there's nothing out there. But it was the first thing that they wanted was his password for his Facebook account. So Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff, I'm sure they're watching it all.
I'm sure there's got to be some privacy regulations concerning that. I mean, if they can't find them, you shouldn't be asking for a password.
Yeah, if you got a profile on Facebook, I mean, it's easy enough to go look at. Anybody can look at it.
Yep. And it's like, okay, what is he hiding if he doesn't give it up? It's like
exactly.
Sooner or later, you got to sit there and take a stance. Yeah. Okay, I'm not give. Might as well give you the password to my bank account.
The worst part is that the feds, they already have the answers. It doesn't matter. They're asking you the question, but they already know.
Yeah, pretty much.
They know the answers.
Yep. So we got a few people listening. We got Carol, Cindy, Laura. Good morning. So yeah, there's still the protests going on, and
hopefully that all fades away now with graduations coming about.
No, but it's
not.
The thing is, it gets me is you got a handful of these kids that are, okay, they're protesting, but they're also causing some stress to the students that just want to go to college.
Sure.
Right. So the media is like piling on the college, like you should be supporting all this, blah, 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 blah. But they've also got all these other students that aren't that concerned about it. They just want to go to school, get their classes done, get their best grades they can, concentrate on what they're doing, not all this other stuff that's going on.
The colleges need to help that out too, though. They can't be supporting that stuff either.
And a lot of the colleges don't have the security that's able to create it. So if it gets a little out there, then they call the cops, and the media is on top of them already, about calling the cops, and that's not necessary or overdoing it. It's like, well, that's the college's right to do whatever they want.
The college is there for a reason, not to be a protesting campground. It's a college. We've
had protests for years about the Vietnam War.
Oh yeah. Every time you turn around now these days.
Yeah, back in the 80s, there's the AIDS protesting and stuff like that. So you've had it around. So this is nothing new.
No.
So, but you're talking about a country that got attacked, literally killed thousands of innocent and kidnapped people.
Yep.
And Israel's not a country to mess with, really, if you do something like that.
No,
they're not going to just sit there, sit on their hands. They're going to react. So it's unfortunate. There's innocents on both sides that are getting killed on this.
Oh yeah.
So
you go after Israel, it's like kicking a bee's nest.
Yep.
They're going to get you. It won't be right away, but
now Israel's making a statement. If you're going to harbor these people that are going to attack us and kill us like that and provide terror, then we're going to react, and we're going to react 2 or 3 times more.
Exactly, and they will.
So tough spot to be in, in this government. But we've been backing Israel for years and years and years, and there's a lot of people that don't like that.
Mm,
But you got your allies. They talk about. What gets me is that it's tough because now you got the Ukraine, which they're thinking is an ally,
right.
never really was an ally, but we're supposed to back them
Yeah.
because
What do they offer?
Russia's. I don't know. I just asked Hunter Biden what do they offer.
Well,
he's been involved in
Burisma.
business over there,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
For years.
Yeah. Well,
But that'll never come out. So I don't know. It's just it's sad. So
I think that you got to choose better friends in the world. I mean, I'm not saying kick the small guy to the side. Somebody's got to look out for them. Yeah. But the money, oh my God, the money.
Anymore, it's they're very good at painting a picture they want you to see.
True.
And really, if you look behind the curtain and
that
follow
war
the money,
is in such a remote part of the country.
Yeah, the war is on the far east side of the country,
up by Russia,
and on the west side, they hardly know anything's going on.
Russia doesn't even want the country. They just want that. They just want that land. That's all they want. They don't want the whole country. Not that I'm saying give it to them, but is it worth what's going on to not surrender up a little piece of land and let them be happy and march on? I don't know. Maybe they want more after that. Who knows?
Yeah, then it'll be the next thing, right?
Yep.
Anyway, there's a lot more to it than we're being told. That's for sure.
Then we'll ever know.
Let's see. Carol says, I would really be ticked off if the protesters ruined my kid's college graduation. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I bet there's plenty of them.
Oh, I would. Yeah, we're going to have the media just say, look at these kids. They're standing up. They're, doing whatever you said they were doing. And then, 90% of the kids that are graduating are just glad that they're,
made it,
graduating, getting their degree and moving on in the world and working on their future. And the only thing you take out of it is that class was full of protesters, which isn't the case.
How do you think that, let's just say the top 10 in that class that, worked their asses off for 4 years and came out brilliant students that had no part of that stuff. And now, their world just got turned upside down as far as all that goes at the end of the day for, possible recognitions for whatever. And
then they go apply for a job and it says Columbia.
Yeah. And then it's like,
and they said, well, we got to check this out. He went to Columbia. We got to see if he was one of the protesters, that kind of thing. Carol says, Israel's small, but like a wolverine, fierce. Plus, Israel has a history of the Holocaust and all that stuff.
They're tough dudes.
Yeah, they don't mess around.
I think when you turn 18 over there, you have to serve 1.5 years in the military. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. You do 1.5 years.
I know there's a lot of countries over there that, once you get out of your basic schooling, you serve 1 or 2 years.
1 to 2 years,
in the military for your country.
And it's not a draft. I mean, you do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
everybody.
I remember watching some golf, and there was a golfer that had to go. He had, I think, till the age of 25 to provide 2 years for South Korea, I believe. So, so he had to step out of being a golfer to go serve 2 years, and then he came back to the sport.
No kidding.
Yeah. There's a lot of countries like that. So, yep. And I got a little pop-up I got to get rid of. Pop-ups. Anyway.
Yeah.
What else is what's good what are you hearing about the Trump trial thing, the hush money thing, and all that nonsense?
Not a lot.
We haven't had other people throw hush money at people to have them shut up or whatever.
Yeah, right. A lot more than 130,000 too, if I remember right. 800,000 seems to ring a bell. Yeah, and it was actually I don't know, forget it. It's just
I don't really pay attention to a lot of that nonsense anymore because it's just. I'm so busy with the home stuff in the house and getting things ready for the summer.
They took, I think I saw something online where a couple of his other cases are indefinitely on hold for now because of issues that were like the document case. I guess stuff wasn't in order and stuff wasn't the way it was supposed to be or the way it was reported. And Jack Smith got a little mud on his face on that whole deal, I guess, and now it's all on hold. So you won't see anything happen with that before the elections. And I've heard that about a couple of the others too. The Georgia one, New York is not federal. I think the federal ones are the ones that are kind of jammed up a little bit right now.
Yeah.
But New York is not federal, so that's why that one's
Are you
still
talking
going
about
forward.
the overpricing or the over assessing properties or whatever? They're so everything that I've been seeing about that is some of these experts, financial experts, and banking people are saying, pretty much he didn't really do anything wrong,
No,
and he's paid his
and he
bills.
paid his bills. I
So
know.
he didn't do anything that people haven't been doing for years.
Sure.
You know,
If the bank didn't have a problem with it, why should anybody else?
right?
He paid his bills.
They're just reaching. They're
They
just reaching to do
agree
whatever
to
they can.
agree to the numbers.
Yep.
Crazy, absolutely crazy.
So that's all right. Let's see. Carol says we used to think it was awful that the Russian people could not trust their news. We're in the same position now with our news.
Right.
They are no longer non-opinionated. So no, everything's biased now, and they're paid to be biased. They're paid to put out what they're supposed to do. It's just sad. Journalism's dead. I guess there's a few stations out there that might be reporting the truth, but when you got your major news networks just spewing garbage all over the place.
That and look what they're doing to journalists, around the world. I mean, what's Russia? Russia's got 2 or 3 of them now. They're put them in jail. They don't. Americans. It's like you don't like what they're reporting, so you lock them up so they can't talk. Simple.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't get
it. No, it's hard. It's things are changing so fast.
People have the right to know.
And creating chaos.
Yes.
We got some people behind the curtains that just want to create chaos, and the more chaos they put us in, the more money they make.
True.
So Carol says honest journalism is dead.
It is.
Pretty much. It's hard to believe it. Even if you heard it, you wouldn't recognize it.
You wouldn't know, right? How would you know?
Do I believe it or not?
Yep.
So
true.
Anyway, let's see. I'm going to put out a couple things here. I'm going to talk about the chicken breast dinner that's coming up. Jewett City Fire Department. Chicken breast dinner, May 18th, 4 to 6 p.m. Still can, I guess, get a few tickets, get a few dinners. And I'm sure they usually buy a little more than they've already got the money for. But yeah, 4 to 6 on the 18th, Saturday. Takeout only. $15 donation tickets available at the firehouse and at the Jewett City Greenhouse. So please support that. It's a good thing for the fire department to raise some money. Let's see what else we got. Last night they had the suicide prevention thing at the library that Public Health and Safety put on. I could probably talk to Paul. Maybe Paul talk about that Friday a little bit. How that went. So I don't know if anybody out there is listening and went to that or not. I was unable to go because I went to the delegation. I already was obligated to support that. And that's pretty much it. I mean, we got the scrolling of all Mike's wonderful sponsorships out there. Eastern Savings Bank, Isaiah's Tire. Yesterday, we had the senior baseball players on from Griswold High School. They had a big game last night. Montville, I don't know how they did. I don't know if they won or lost. They needed to win 2 out of the last 3 to get a chance to take the division that they're in. But if anybody knows, let me know. It'd be nice if they won. So you got let's see, Dean's Corner, Rubino's Full Circle. So, like Mike says, good burgers. They do have good burgers. I'll give them that. You got some good chicken parmesan. I usually get the chicken parmesan when I'm there. So that's good.
Yeah, I've been there a few times. Everything's been good.
My wife loves the beef the steak tips. So that's usually a special though. So, but it was a special like all week last week or so. She had it like twice.
I did see that. Yeah, I saw that.
So
I've had their fried chicken sandwich. It was probably one of the better ones I've ever had.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yep. All right. So, anybody got any questions? What's going on? So we got the budget stuff that's coming near an end, a hearing, then the vote, and get out there and vote. And I know it's going to be a strain with a 1.47 mil increase for some people, especially seniors on fixed incomes and things like that, like myself, like Rich. We're in the same boat. But the only thing that's going to fix that is economic development. We've been talking about that for a long time in this town. So I know the infrastructure project, as a matter of fact, that should be coming up close, start breaking ground for that next week or two.
They said the end of the month, beginning of June,
Next week or two. So hopefully the weather helps with that because it hasn't been that great. It's been like rain 3-4 days out of the week.
It's supposed to rain today, later on.
Yep, rain tomorrow.
Nice.
It's nice Friday and Saturday, and then rain again Sunday from what I last looked at the weather report. So
absolutely crazy. Good for the lawns, though.
Yep. Let's see what else. What else has been going on? What was the meeting? Was there a meeting last night in town?
I thought there was a Board of Selectmen meeting.
Yeah.
But I did not.
I didn't make that either.
I did not attend. Looks like there's a special meeting today for somebody. Board of Selectmen.
Well, I know they were hiring a town planner assistant.
And they were interviewing for an assessor again, too. I wonder how that went.
And they were interviewing for an assessor, trying to fill that position.
Glad there was some interest.
Yep. I don't know what the qualifications are for the assessor, if any. It's probably mostly experience and anything else. But the town clerk is going to be a hard one to fill. And luckily, the current town clerk extended out past the elections in November. So, but that's only 6 months away. And it'll go fast.
Yeah.
My experience being retired is it goes fast.
Oh, yes.
So, there's some stuff going on right now. We're just waiting to see what happens with the budget. And hopefully that passes both for the town and the school. And everybody can sit back, relax. School year's coming to an end. That's another thing. So,
yeah, I bet the kids are happy. You get to go to camp fully staffed again.
Oh, yeah. All the programs.
Get to do all that.
Yep. Well, the budget has to pass.
Yeah, that's true.
So once the budget passes, then their committee assistant position is safe. Right now, it looks pretty good. I mean, he's back in the budget full time. So the programs can move forward once the budget passes.
True.
So.
I don't know. The budget, I would think the budget's going to pass. I mean, we've gotten off easy the last few years.
Yeah,
for 1.47. I mean, nobody likes it. I don't like it. I'm sure you don't like it.
Well, you got to remember, half of it is for the $600,000. Right. We used to level off the budget last year. And
as of now, everybody got wise to all of that, and that won't happen next year. We did not borrow any money out of the undesignated general
fund. They
fund.
First did that.
Yeah, but they put it back. They put it all this.
How did they put it back?
Didn't take it.
They didn't take it. Why?
Keep kicking the can down the road.
Because the tuition money was projected more for next year.
That extra $250,000.
Extra $250,000. They put the $150,000 back, so now they got $100,000. To play with and lower. Keep the mill rate around 1.5 or less. So, which would make it more attractive to pass the budget, right? So,
I don't understand all of that either. I mean, how did the school who was being told to cut to begin with, and now all of a sudden they've got a budget surplus.
A budget surplus. You're talking about tuition.
Well, money's money when it
So
comes from the school.
tuition they project, and then during the course of the year, they end up getting more tuition students.
No.
So it's not really part of the budget, but that money does go towards the budget.
The budget.
Right.
Comes
So
back to the town,
if the school budget's like 31 million and they're bringing back 3 point some million dollars, they're essentially paying 10 to 11% of the budget back from the tuition students, which that has grown significantly since, hold on to your horses, Paul. The new field was put in.
The new field.
And
They said this would happen.
Yeah, they said this would happen. So it made it attractive to bring, and not only that, there's a lot of local like youth football that utilizes it now. So everybody was all for it.
Hey, listen, what's the payment on that field? It's $400 and something thousand a year, I believe.
Yeah.
So if they're bringing in $250,000 or $300,000 extra every year on tuition, it's almost paying for that field payment. You know what I mean? So complain if you want, but
in 10 years from now, it'll be paid off. So, and just in time to resurfacing it.
Yep.
Resurface, not replace it, but
resurfacing it. Right.
That's it's different than saying replace it. So it costs $3.5 million now. So right now, if you were to do it, I think you would be looking at another $1 million.
That whole project.
Whole project. That's how fast things are.
Look at everything.
Are going up between labor costs. So I had my truck detailed yesterday. My wife got me a nice gift certificate to Strain Motors to get it detailed inside and out, and they did a great job. And I'm standing there waiting, for them to finish up. And I'm looking at the labor costs, like $105 an hour to work on a car. Yep. That's not including the parts. Nope. And I'm like, geez,
the parts are outrageous.
So
but I have heard that they're very fair down there.
Yep.
A lot of people, I had a problem. I went to Strain, blah, blah, blah. They did this. They charged me. They didn't even charge me for what they did or, charge me for the part or.
Yeah, Mike's probably getting mad at me because I'm talking about him.
Yeah. Kudos to them to do that for, locals. I mean, that's a good thing.
But I hear they're going to sponsor his new job down there at Dodd doing the Sea Unicorn games down there. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I forget how many games he said he's got down there.
Oh, that's good.
He was talking to me yesterday about breakfast, and he was looking at me. I said, "Oh, I know what you're getting at." Hey, Wayne, can you come help me out with that?
Yep.
We'll have to see how things go with my home projects, Mike.
Wayne Malin.
Before I feel obligated.
Program manager.
Yeah, I've been fired 10 times now, so there you go.
But you come back for more money every time. How can you complain? You always get a pay raise.
All right, now Carol's got a question for you, Rich. What is the difference between a pregnant woman and a light bulb?
Oh, my God.
We did ask for questions.
Pregnant woman and a light bulb.
You can unscrew a light bulb.
This is true. This is true.
So, anyway.
Wow.
Anyway, apparently nobody has any questions about what's going on in town that we might be able to answer.
Everything's just going nice and smooth, I guess.
Yeah. So I'm blaming all of us stumbling around in here for the show, blaming it on Kathy.
Yeah, we got to blame Kathy.
Yeah, she's the glue.
She left us high and dry.
So she's probably still sleeping. Actually, I woke her up. I asked her if she was coming. She was feeling better. She says no. She says, "I'm sorry, I owe you." So I said, "Okay, you can do Psychic Thursday tomorrow."
Oh,
I didn't get a response back yet. So anyway,
yeah,
we have fun on Psychic Thursday.
What do you have? Your own set of cards now?
No, I don't know. They keep telling me I'm going to get a turban, but you know what? You know how you got the karate classes?
Yeah.
As you progress, you change the color of your belts.
Yeah.
That's what they should do. As I get better, they should give me an upgrade.
I see you here. I see you with cards. I didn't know if you went out and bought yourself
a
set of cards.
She hands me a card, and I look at it, and I hold it up to the camera. And we talk about it. Now I try to decipher what it's supposed to mean and all that stuff. So, and we have a few laughs.
Yeah, it's interesting stuff.
Yep. Let's see, what time is it? 9:36. I think we've been milking this pretty good. Let's see what else is going on. We got the Memorial Day parade coming the 27th. So downtown will be crazy. That'll be locked down for a while that parade's going down on the 27th. Got anything else? We got Heroes Day on the 15th of June, which you're going to have you're going to have some representatives from the armed forces. You're going to have EMS and the fire departments down there, probably some police.
Was that Veterans Park?
Yeah, Veterans Park, along with the I think that's the last day. Maybe it's a Saturday. It's the last day of the carnival. Carnival's coming to town the 13th, yep. Which is a Thursday, I think, on the 14th, and the 15th will be Heroes Day. Also, if I remember, the 13th
June 15th is a Saturday, yes.
And my wife's listening. She correct me. I think it's the high school graduation is the 13th or maybe the 14th. Middle school's like the day before. So it's a busy time coming up.
So, yeah, always something going on.
You got the budget that's got to pass. Then you got graduations, all that stuff going on. And school's done, and all the happy parents get to see their kids at home.
The fun begins.
And the fun begins. I love that commercial that you see. Was it Staples or whatever? It's the most wonderful time of the year. Yeah. About August, you see it pop up when all the kids are starting to go back to school, and all the parents are happy, and the kids are, sad, outing. That's a great commercial. Anyway.
Yep.
Carol says she's just back from a road trip to Nashville. We have better food here in town than at Paula Dean's. Paula Dean's food made me sick just sharing. That's interesting.
Never been to Nashville. I've been to Gatlinburg a few times.
I went to Nashville once when I was 19 with my dad and a best friend of mine. Yeah. So we went through the Hall of Fame and went by the old Grand Ole Opry, that kind of thing, and took in some of the sights.
But
that was only like a 3-day excursion.
Yeah. But Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, all over in that area. Nice area. Really nice. Expensive on some things, but
yeah. One of the things that I did go on is with my son back in 2009 was, he comes home from college. He says, he's sitting there at home. I'm bored. He said, "What do you want to do?" He goes, "I want to go on a road trip." So we go on a road trip. He said, "Where do you want to go?" I said, "I haven't been to Washington, D.C. in a long time." So, I haven't been to Washington, D.C. since I was, in the 5th or 6th grade.
High school senior trip.
So we went down there, and I think he was just finishing his freshman year of college. And so we drove down there, and we stayed a week. And it fit so well that the Red Sox were in town playing Baltimore. Yeah. So it was like a Friday night. So we got there Monday before. We spent 4 days going through all, the museums and things like that. A lot of walking. It was July, so it was hot.
Special.
And so it was a fun trip. It was interesting, but you could see where a lot of our money goes into those buildings.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of beautiful buildings down there. So it was nice to go do, especially with him. And we drove back and went to the game Friday night. And we drove through Delaware, which I grew up in, and I visited one of my best friends I grew up with. And then we came home. So it was a good week. But if you haven't been down to see DC and do that and see some of the history and some of the science stuff and the Air and Space Museum, stuff like that, that was interesting. Things like that. So, and that was Carol's 4th trip down to Nashville.
Wow.
So, 4th and final trip. No, probably won't be going to Paula Dean's again.
Yeah, I went down there once. We flew once. We went into Knoxville. Knoxville was a nice area. Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge, Sevierville. That's all nice. It's tourism, though. It's unless you get off the beaten path. And if you get off the beaten path and don't know anybody, well, I don't know. You're just driving around. But it was it's a nice area. Nice area. The wildlife's awesome. The bears are always around. I got a video of a bear at the hotel we were at. It come walking out from behind the building. Right, we were sitting next to a fire thing, and the bear just kind of nonchalantly walked over to the garbage pail, gave it a shake. And everybody scattered. But then on the other hand, everybody was following it with their phones. And the bear had a tag in its ear, so they've been watching the bear. They knew it. And that bear did not bother anybody. It just walked along. They followed it right up to the road. The bear stood there, looked both ways a couple times, and finally bounced across the road and up into the woods it went. I mean, it's
Look
something.
both ways for traffic.
I'm telling you, this bear had done this before.
Yeah.
Believe
yeah.
me.
Yeah.
But it was just like, wow, holy cow! Around here, a bear would probably come after you for dinner, But down there, it didn't matter. And it was a raccoon that was the same thing. The raccoon just wanted food. That's all it wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of it's neat. It's a different world, much different than here. It was interesting. It's fun.
Yeah, I noticed that when I was in the service and with all different parts of the country, stuff like that.
Hell, I had a chipmunk in my basement yesterday. Oh my God, that was trying to get that thing out. Huh. But we got him.
All right, nice. Let's see. Got anybody else out there listening? Yep, just two guys talking here. Don't have the superstar of the lot here today, so
she's sitting home laughing
sitting
now.
home laughing at us, because we're struggling. Don't have her to, sit there to, bring up stuff and remind us of stuff. So anyway, I blame Rich. He's not taking care of her, making sure he's not getting
making her work, not take care of herself.
She was at the delegation.
It's his
training.
Fault.
He was doing training. He's doing nights. He does nights all the time. Mm-hmm. He says he's getting mandated, but I think he just loves it. Probably keeps asking him for more.
With that extra half hour a day that he's got available, right?
Yeah. Anyway. Got anything else coming up that you know of? Any trips? Nothing like that?
Nah. Well, no. Going down to West Virginia in a couple of weeks for my second granddaughter's high school graduation. So we're going down there for 5 days. And another nice area. Just relax. None of the busy hype like you got around here.
Yeah.
So we're going down there, and we'll have fun down there for a few days and come home. And after that, it's march on.
Yeah. Okay. Do some more Minarski voice impersonation. That was spot on. Oh gosh, I can only do that voice so much. So anyway, I don't know. I don't really have much else to talk about. I'll go to the DDC tonight, see what's going on with the projects. Hopefully, we get some positive news because we definitely need to fix our revenue issues so we can minimize the tax increases.
And that's what they're there for.
And that's the biggest complaints is the tax increases, roads. A few other minor things, I guess, are we need more restaurants in town, local eateries.
The good part about the restaurants we do have, though, they're not chain restaurants. They're private. They're personally owned, so it's different.
Yeah, locally owned.
You go to one Ruby Tuesdays, you've been to 100 of them. It doesn't matter. At least we've got some,
Yeah, well,
better options.
Yeah, so I understand what you're saying. It's like we don't have a Longhorn Steakhouse or Olive Garden or anything.
Longhorns as well.
We got Ruby's in Lisbon, and you got Chili's, and
right.
And you got some locally owned restaurants in town here. So,
and they're, in my opinion, they are the better restaurant to go to. I mean, there's some chain restaurants that are good. Longhorns is good, things like that. But you start going to the other ones, like Ruby's down in Lisbon. I mean, the last time we went there was like 4 of us in the place. It was terrible. I mean, I just don't know what's going on there. You drive by, the parking lot's very empty, and I got to tell you the truth, food wasn't that good either. It was something's not good there.
The wife and I would go there once in a while because the salad bar is good. We'll get the all-you-can-eat salad bar.
Yep.
Because all that stuff is usually pretty good and pretty fresh.
That's scaled back a lot too.
Yeah. But since COVID, I mean, they shut it down during COVID,
did, yes.
And it didn't really start up again until maybe a year ago.
Yeah.
Right. and right now that's the best part of that place. I see a lot when I'm in there, and you're right. It's not packed.
Used to go in there. The bar area was always full.
Yeah.
I mean, there was nobody in there.
I'm gonna
And it was on a weekend.
I'm gonna
It's
say
like,
there's maybe 8 to 10 people in there when
Yeah.
we were in there.
It's terrible. I don't
Wasn't
know.
busy, but it was it was like around noon, 1 o'clock, and it was in the middle of the
Yeah.
week. So
No, we went there at dinner time, and
Yeah.
it wasn't good.
so
I don't
Chili's is usually
They were
busy.
kicking. Yeah, they're usually kicking pretty
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
So that should tell you something. That, maybe the dinner and the regular food menu stuff is not as good as it used to be.
Their baby back ribs used to be awesome. Now they're.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to chew them off the bone. It wasn't good.
So, yeah.
Economic development, 6:30.
So Rachel. Good morning, Rachel. Thanks for joining. Eating at locally owned restaurants always is a bonus. Yeah.
Of course.
That's good because they pay more attention to the customers. They want them to
Of
come
course.
back. They pay more attention to what
Listen,
they're putting out as a product.
Everybody in town knows them.
Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, we lost a couple, Chew and Brew and Sorrells, and then Rubino's Full Circle opened up. And so, but we could use a few more because you have Brew It City too. But Brew It City's got some good stuff on their menu, but they limited seating. It's very small.
And they're not open late.
And they're not open late. And they're only open so many days during the week.
Yeah.
And you're not open Tuesdays.
Now
Cranky's isn't open
Rubino's has
Tuesdays.
ice cream now.
Rubino's has ice cream now. Yeah. As a matter of fact, one of the kids on the, works there. That was on the baseball team. So, yeah. Milkshake would go down good right now because this room's like a friggin' oven.
It's definitely warm. I see.
I've told Mike about this.
I see the air conditioner in the window too.
The air
and it's
conditioner
like,
does not work very good.
No,
probably needs to get. Maybe we'll talk to Paul about getting a mini split put in here since he can afford one in the garage.
He seems to be one of them guys. Yep.
Put one in this room that would help offset the heat from these extra lights Mike put in here.
My word.
So yeah. I don't know. Maybe that's like some kind of a secret weight loss thing Mike's trying to do, sweat it off. I don't know. And we had it turned off. He had them turned off when we first walked in the room, but
right. It doesn't take long.
No, it's heating up pretty well.
Yep.
Anyway, I got a few people listening. Let's see. Rachel from North Carolina says, if you want good food, find out where the locals eat.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, do a lot of talking and ask. Usually the locals know where to go.
It's pretty obvious around here where they're eating.
Yep. So, let's see what else we got. Let's see. Tomorrow is our fantastic Psychic Thursday. Don't miss it. And you got Friday. Mike's going to have Kevin Cunningham, first selectman of Plainfield. I didn't see him he had something else going on at the delegation last night. So even though they called his name off for the roll call, so he's on Friday with Paul. So, yeah. And then
tell us how good they're doing up there, economic development wise.
Oh God, turn about as green as this piece of paper here.
Yep.
Envy.
Yep.
What he's doing up there. So it's like I like to come in Friday, but I got to watch one of my granddaughters, and pick his brain a little bit. I like to understand what Well, they've been doing this for a long time. What are they doing different than
what they're doing? They've got grant writers. They've got
their marketing, their property.
Yeah, exactly.
And I keep hearing they got a lot more property than we got. Well, I don't care how much property they got. They probably do, but we've got property, but nothing's being done.
No, and the problem with the property is it's good property. It's right off of 395.
Yeah, we got
but there's nothing in the ground.
We got some buildings that are empty.
Yep.
That could be filled, and there's when I ask about it, or other people ask about it, there's always something that
Oh, we don't want that. We don't want that.
Or the landlords don't want to do anything with it. They just want to sit on it. So,
which I don't understand.
But even if they're sitting on it, you're still getting some kind of taxes from it, right? The town's still getting something. Just like Plainfield, people complain about the Amazon building.
They're paying their taxes.
They're still getting a buttload of money.
I
forget how much.
They're paying their taxes.
Yeah. So, Lori Sorter.
Uh-oh.
The Borough Freeman's meeting to vote on the budgets tonight. There you go. Yeah, I remember Kathy talking about that last night. So I'm sure Kathy's going to crawl to the meeting tonight. And yeah, so they'll be electing a warden and or a Burgess. So
it's that
so
time.
here's the thing. Lori is the
Acting warden.
acting warden. So if she gets elected warden, there'll be an opening for a Burgess.
Correct.
So I believe they were looking for people that should send in an email or some kind of a note to the Burgesses for anybody that's interested. And then there was the budget for get this, a big whopping 0.001 mil increase.
001.
So it's going to be like $2.
That's just pennies.
On a property assessed at $200,000. That's for the year.
Yeah, well, yeah. That's, I don't know if they can afford that. You got to be careful. That's,
I don't know. So,
wow.
Yeah,
Pennies.
15, 16 cents, a month.
Yeah.
So anyway.
But they still pay the Grizzle tax too. So
yes, they do. And the meeting starts at 6 at the Borough Building. So anyway, I could go, but I can't vote.
Yeah.
But I'll probably be going to the EDC meeting anyway, just to find out what's going on with the project. Sorry, Lori, I'm probably going to go to the EDC meeting and see what's going on with the projects. And
sounds interesting.
See if I'm going to be happy or depressed.
Good news or bad, right? We'll find out.
Yep. And we'll see Paul there. So see how it goes. Let's see. Carol says another name for Cunningham is what? Sly Pig, FYI. I don't know.
Sly Pig.
Sly Pig, FYI, for your information. I don't know what that means. Apparently, she knows something about Kevin that I don't.
Well, evidently, a lot of people don't,
Either
because
that
if he
or-
had a bad name like that, he wouldn't be doing what he's doing, right?
No, well, he's and they just a couple months ago hired a economic development director, to head that up and push things along and welcoming business in. They got that Uline company coming in.
Yep.
Amazon is supposed to be filling that building once they turn everything over to electric. All the vehicles are supposed to go to electric
next year, I heard.
Yeah. So then they'll be getting more money off of that.
Uline, 1.25 million square feet. That's
I'm not jealous.
Huge building.
Yeah, so we got to get off the log here. Stop sitting on the log and do something. Our neighbors are
Why are we
really
not
kicking it up and bringing in money? I mean, Lisbon's putting up like a $15 million firehouse.
Why are we not getting a piece of that?
Yeah,
Lisbon does well. Plainfield does well, but Grizzle's like stagnant. How come?
We talked about this before. We got to get off of this not in my backyard mentality. I mean, if you want to keep Grizzle the way it is,
leave it alone.
And you're happy with it and you don't mind the taxes going up,
leave it alone.
Then fine.
Yeah. Don't complain.
But you're getting enough people complaining about the taxes. When I was, knocking on doors, that was the two top things was the road conditions,
roads and taxes.
And some of it was the appearance of downtown Jewett City, and the restaurants. And they'd like to see something a little more upscale. They'd like to see their own grocery store. But the two top things were roads and taxes. So, and Lori Sorter, I know, and Tina put out some of the meetings, roads. They've been hearing a lot more about
I heard
roads.
It loud and clear. Yeah.
Yep. So they keep getting complained about roads when they were talking about the budget, stuff like that. They brought that up. And they did put some money back on the roads that they took away initially. The Board of Finance did. So, and they are doing a lot of borough road work right now.
Yeah. All the cross
streets, stuff like that. Yeah.
They're getting paved next week, I believe.
They paved some of them already.
Yeah. I saw the schedule.
Maybe the first coat is done.
Yeah, I think so. That's just a binder. I think the final paving's next week. Lori put the thing out there. There's like 4 days of paving going on. Yeah.
Oh, Sly Pig Cunningham.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. That's what you meant, Sly Pig.
Let's go back to the light bulb joke.
So anyway, whatever he's doing
it right.
I hope it rubs off down here somehow, so we can start moving on and getting some revenue in and keep the taxes at bay,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe provide some better shopping services. I don't mind seeing some affordable housing going up, but we just can't have most of this be affordable housing. We got to have some commercial. I would like to even see some kind of industrial park.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because
that's where you really get a lot of big bang for your money, that kind of stuff, and some commercial business. But people don't want to see the traffic. People don't want to see the big trucks going up and down the road. Where have they been? When I was out there with, doing the primary thing out here in front of the town hall there, I don't know how many times I saw those dump trucks
Oh yeah,
from American,
yeah.
going up and down the road. And of course they were blowing their horns when they,
Sure.
saw us out there, all the signs up, but it was like, you already got that going on.
Yeah.
And you already got, Mack trucks going down, and transportation going up and down the road. If you keep it down by 395, it won't be going through town. It'll be just jumping off and on 395. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's no benefit to come down through here to go to Plainfield.
Nope.
Just stay on 395. You get on these skinny roads, and it's a pain in the neck. And
well, part of it was, I remember a lot of truckers were, when they put the tolls in over in Rhode Island, there were a lot of truckers bypassing that and starting to go through the secondary roads.
Yep.
In Connecticut to bypass those tolls. But and they're talking, there's still some small talk about that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So, and some of the things that they put out, Heather and the other guy who's running for state rep in that area, I think it's Greg Howard. He and her were talking about, they had some excess ARPA funds and things like that. The monies that they spent went to Bridgeport, Waterbury, all the big cities for like baseball fields, things like that. And they had started up some Eastern healthcare and mental care facilities in the eastern side of Connecticut. I think she said 6 or 7 of them.
Wow.
And they're struggling, financially.
Oh yeah.
So Lamont went around cutting all the ribbons and all that stuff, and look what we're doing, blah 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 blah. Now a year later they're broke. Yeah. Now they're broke, and now they're struggling on getting funds to keep them going. Is he going to be there to put the ribbon back up, to tie it up? With the media there and all that stuff. Hell no.
Their priorities are not right.
So they were. I guess there was a battle going on where they're going to spend this money, but it's like everything else. The votes are over there.
Yeah.
They're not over here. But if notice where the blue votes are, that's where the money's going.
Yep.
And a lot of the red votes are over here because of that.
Yep.
Because they're catering to all those people. That's just the political game. But, but I can understand it. It's just not a good look when you're celebrating, open things up, and then a year later you got to shut them down because you can't support it.
Yeah.
So, and Heather and Greg were pretty passionate about that topic. Anyway, your taxes at work, your tax money at work. All right. So Carol says we have to be more than a bedroom community. It is past time to put something in somebody's backyard. Yeah, okay, Carol, how big's your backyard? No. So anyway, some and I'm going to tell you, and when you're in a leadership role like the Board of Selectmen or whoever, planning and zoning or whatever, sometimes you got to make the non-popular decision.
Of course,
that's best for the town.
Of course. So, listen, you're not there to be everybody's friend. You're there to do the best for the town as a whole.
Yeah, you have to do the best as a town, as a majority, and otherwise people are going to start moving out. Now, I don't think they're going to move out. I don't know where they're going to go, but if you look around the area, most towns have higher taxes than us.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Ours are going up, but we're still, in the lower third.
We're still on the low end. You put a house on the market right now, it's going to sell quick because they it's like Basra, any of the low tax towns, Lisbon, there's no inventory there. Your wife knows.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's as low as it is. It's not great. It's just going to keep going up.
Absolutely. Oh, I remember when Mike Mish was on here talking about capital and properties and all like that, and he was talking about the 2007 2008 crash with the
Mm.
mortgage and all like that, and he
Mm.
didn't really get into the real issues with that,
Mm.
why that occurred, and all of the you talk about what Trump's doing, all the diabolical things that went into that mortgage crisis and why it was caused, and all the bankers that were involved in that, and the politicians that signed off on it, and none of them spent a day in jail.
Yeah. Yep.
And that was more of an issue than anything.
Yep.
That Trump's going through right now. So, I mean, it was. I saw a documentary on that a few years ago, how that all occurred, and the bankers were pushing for it. They were selling mortgages. They're giving mortgages to people that had less than a 500 rating, that could barely, make ends meet, and then they would sell those mortgages, and then they would insure those mortgages because they knew they'd fail.
Yeah.
So when they failed, they would get the insurance money, and still made money off the mortgages they sold that were bad to begin with, and that just started the tumbling effect right there. And I'll tell you what, it was tough. It was tough for all the real estate agents to do anything.
Yeah.
Because the mortgage industry was locked up.
Yep.
Houses weren't selling. People couldn't afford it. People were losing properties. My wife spent more time, dealing with
repossessions,
foreclosures than anything else. So that was a stressful time for her and all the real estate agents out there, and the loan officers and everything. It was just a chain effect. That took probably 4 or 5 years to turn it around. Not one of them spent a day in jail.
No,
not one of them. Let's see. Carol goes, it's Dominic's backyard. We already have the school and low income housing. Oh yeah. Yep. So anyway, I think that just about wraps it up for the show today. It's already after 10 o'clock. Thanks for listening. Sorry we put anybody to sleep out there.
Yeah, thanks, Kathy.
Yeah. So
dull, boring show today.
Yeah. So anyway, I hope she feels better.
Yeah, me too.
And we'll see. Hopefully, we'll see her tomorrow night at the other delegation.
I'll be there
for Brian Lanou. And that's about it. Thanks, everyone. Have a good day. And tomorrow is Psychic Thursday. Don't forget to ask for somebody to pick a card, and I'll try to mumble through.
Pick a winner.
So, all right. Have a good day.
Good day.